Okay, this is Metal Sharpens Metal, and my name is Daniel. Today we are back with a peak metalcore song from a peak metalcore band. The song itself is called This Fire. The band is Killswitch Engage. And I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I had actually never heard this song before, like yesterday. So I'm really glad to have stumbled on This Fire. It is really good. I think you're going to like it if you like metal, that is. If you don't like metal, you can hit the road. Sorry, I mean, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's check it out. The intro riff is a lot like their song This Is Absolution, but you're gonna love it. It doesn't matter. It's just so good. Gotta get those pinches in there. Adam D is the king of just sprinkling them everywhere. Woo! Yes! That harmony, the chugs. I'm gonna go leg press a mountain real quick. Yes. A little arpeggio, clean guitar with the talking. Here we go. I love the look the hands have on guitars when they play like this. Pick it up with a two-step chorus to end it. Oh my gosh, these guys know how to write a song. And this was just a B-side. Like, this wasn't even on the main album. They were just like, afterthought. We just know how to write. Bro, you can't just say that your song is fire and have it be true.
I didn't say it, I declared it. Still, it's not anything.
Okay, yeah, Killswitch actually can do that. No lies detected. That song is fire. So this band as a whole and especially this album represents a metalcore classic that just hit at the perfect time in my life. I still remember the first time I learned about Killswitch. I believe a kid on my school bus had a patch of theirs on his backpack. And I thought to myself, Killswitch Engage? I certainly don't want to be engaging anything as scary as that. The kid also liked Slipknot, so I knew he was trouble. When I finally listened to Killswitch and started liking them, I think I went back to him and either apologized for prejudging him or just tried to be his friend because I wanted him to think I was cool. And I think that was back when Killswitch had their original vocalist, Jesse, but I didn't actually hear them back then. Jesse is and was a great vocalist. The first song I actually did hear of theirs was The End of Heartache, and I was an instant fan. Like, that song, if you haven't heard it, heavy, melodic, singing, go listen to it and then hit a PR on something. It's what Dwight would want. Okay. So yeah, the lead singer for The End of Heartache and for the song Today is a guy named Howard Jones. Now, Howard is one of my favorite vocalists in metalcore because he's got that really recognizable, thick, rich timbre. The tonality, I love it. It's what I've been calling that manly kind of tone where it's singing in a little bit of a lower register, but it's still kind of like operatic. So he's got a lot of skill. It's not like, when a guy just can't sing and he's like, like an octave below what he normally talks at. It's like, no, Howard has a great voice, and his screams are just everything that you could ask for in metalcore, conveying all that energy that you want for the intense parts. Yeah, he's a lot like the vocalist from All That Remains, Phil Labonte. I think that there's a lot of similarities. They both hit. Okay, this album, As Daylight Dies, and the All That Remains album, The Fall of Ideals, that we covered This Calling from, both hit in 2006. My tiny little neurons could barely handle it. They were forever altered and just set on a trajectory to just love this type of music. So yeah, this is my favorite Killswitch album for sure. There's 0 skips for me on the whole album. So I had a really hard time picking which song that I wanted to showcase for the first song for Killswitch on this channel. And it's funny. I was thinking about Arms of Sorrow, My Curse, some of their biggest hits. But even though this song wasn't on the original release, I ended up going with it because when I heard it, I was like, this is just everything Killswitch. It's got that southern kind of rock riff with all those pinch harmonics I was mentioning, gigantic chorus that just gets stuck in your head. I love it. The big breakdown kind of out of nowhere in the middle, and then, yeah, another bigly chorus. People tell me, they say it's absolute fire. I say, really? They say, yes, everyone agrees. Absolutely fire. The most fire, the bigliest fire, the hottest fire. It burns very hot, very hot. It's got gigantic riffs. You love to see it. I say, what about My Curse? What about Arms of Sorrow, the originals? They say, no, you're gonna want this fire, not that fire, this fire. So looking at some of these lyrics, we see themes of encouragement and motivation. You can tell right here. Yeah. But he says he wants his destiny to be fulfilled. It's in my hands, I must not fail. And he has this motivation even though he's in his darkest days. Even through that, the fire inside him is burning always. He doesn't want to be paralyzed by the past. He wants to push forward, and he sees that this is the proving ground as the heat begins to rise. Turn away from yesterday, tomorrow's in my eyes. Now, this isn't Howard's strongest writing, I will admit. He's written some a bit better lines, but it's okay. I love the simplicity of the message here, just to push forward. This is the time, like, don't be thinking about the past and all the times that you messed up. Push forward and get the thing done that needs to be done. And again, another reminder of this: nevermore to be held down by the wings of history, nevermore to be cast aside, this day is mine. Man, and I said the little talking lines with the kind of like telephone effect over the like arpeggio and like the big chugs with the open sections in between. That's such a like As I Lay Dying moment too. I love that in metalcore. It's those moments where the talking hits just right. You don't need to worry about the screaming or the singing. It's just what it needs to be. So yeah, this song gets to the core of what Howard wants to portray in a lot of his songs: finding strength and pushing forward through adversity. So like I said, I thought about reviewing My Curse because that's just one of their biggest hits ever. It's a very good song. And when I first heard it on the album, I was like, yes, more please. And then I read something by their guitarist, Adam D., who is a riot of a human being. He's their lead guitarist, main songwriter guy. He's also not one to beat around the bush. And he basically said that My Curse is just about chicks. So I didn't want to do another video that was going to end up being a lot like This Calling, where, if you remember that video, my naive high school self was thinking, oh, he's responding to the calling of the Lord on his heart. No, it's just about a chick too. So I didn't want it to be another one quite like that. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I like when people write about the deeper things rather than the cute girl in algebra. So unpopular opinion, I think this song is better than My Curse. You can at me about that if that offends you. I'm sorry, but I will stand by it. This Fire is a great song, and I think it's got a bigger, more applicable meaning to a lot of things that aren't just about relationships and love. Like, it applies to those and more things too. Now, I think I read, kind of like with Phil, again, there's so many similarities apparently with All That Remains, but I think I read somewhere that Howard is some kind of a Christian, which kind of comes out in some of their lyrics. Maybe you could interpret them that way, but he hasn't opened up about that explicitly, which kind of bums me out. He's even gone a step further and said that he doesn't really like discussing the meaning of his lyrics because it takes away some of the mystery and the fun, and because he likes when people can interpret their own meanings into the songs. Now, the reason I don't like that is because I think truth and clarity matter. I think it is bad when people misinterpret the Bible to suit their own desires, and I think it's bad when people interpret every song as being about their lives. It's kind of like a selfish, I'm my own superhero and every song is about me type mindset. I get that some artists like to be a servant in that way. They like to present these things that a lot of people can have, resonate with and have meaning in. But if somebody takes you totally out of context, aren't you a little disappointed by that? I guess it's possible to write lyrics that are just kind of so bland and general that like anybody can relate to it, kind of like the psychic that says, oh, I foresee that you're going to go home today and then something will happen. You'll either be sad or happy or whichever one is, it's like people are just kind of looking for what they already know to be true in some ways. So I don't see a ton of value in wasting our short time writing about vagaries and kind of obfuscation stuff. If you have Christian convictions, I want to know about them. I want you to put them on display with the skills God has given you, and I want you to hopefully glorify God through your work. I think that some people might be afraid of this too. They might be afraid of what people might think and the fear of rejection and ridicule. Or maybe they think that they're not a super Christian and they can't answer all the objections that they're bound to get because, it's unpopular to be a Christian, especially in industries like metal music. But Jesus did say we were going to run into opposition for our beliefs. So if we don't really ever face opposition, what does that say about our beliefs? Another thing that I think is important to remember is that we will be judged for every idle word in our lives. So again, why not strive for clarity rather than be somebody like Kevin?
Why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick.
Now, in Peter's first epistle that he wrote to the churches, he actually answered a lot of our hesitancy and fear in a great little bundle of verses here. And remember, this is the same Peter who denied Jesus. He told Jesus, surely you can't go to the cross. I don't want you to die. He directly was contradicting Jesus' ministry. Like, Peter failed. Peter was afraid. And this is the same Peter writing this. So he said, even if you should suffer for righteousness' sake, you will be blessed. Have no fear of them, nor be troubled, but in your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect, having a good conscience, so that, when you are slandered, those who revile your good behavior in Christ may be put to shame. He said, when you are slandered, not if. Like, people are going to be angry at your teachings if you are talking about the hope that is within you. So for all the Christians watching these videos, and I have seen some of you in the comments, I'm grateful you're here, and I hope you are being edified by this content. I want to be an encouraging voice in this scene that you don't have to keep your faith in the corner because
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
So I want us to be convicted and bold about our faith, and I want that to be because that we cannot help but speak about the Christ who we have set apart in our hearts as holy. So I hope this was a helpful look at the song. Maybe this is your first time hearing this song, even if you are familiar with Killswitch's other stuff. And hope you liked it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Llama Sevilla, que traigo